We're here tonight on Artists on Lockdown. My name is Sal Piacente, President of Universal Game Protection, and we're going to have a short session and we're going to have a lot of fun. But before I do that, I want to thank Love Productions for having me back. And Artists on Lockdown, we go way back. It's a great company, great people. I enjoy working with them, and I can't thank them enough for having me back. Tonight, what we're going to talk about is a very short topic and probably one of the biggest scams that hit America on Baccarat and in the casinos. And they were hit with a Trend organization where they're recruiting dealers. As a matter of fact, this is just one of the headlines where they got indicted and they took over 7 million. They really don't know how much, but they're estimating millions were taken with this scam. So that's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes. And the major sleight of hand that took place in this scam is a false shuffle. I'll give you an example. If you look at this deck right here, I'm going to make it look like I'm shuffling the cards. And you can see they're being mixed. But let's suppose I want to do a control shuffle. Now these cards look like they're being mixed, but they're really not. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'll tell you some funny stories that go along with the false shuffle, some of the things I have firsthand knowledge of. But with this scam, what they did on Baccarat was, and it's a classic scam, it goes way back. In Baccarat, the player receives a scorecard where they could write down the order of the cards. I'm sorry, they write down the outcomes. If this hand wins, you don't need to know how to play Baccarat to do this, but the cheats would actually write down the order of the cards as the dealer picks them up. And then the dealer would employ a false shuffle, keep the cards in order, and then when those cards come out, they'll be able to look at their paper and know the exact order of the cards that are going to come out. Well, with the Trend organization, they didn't use the pen and paper. They used microphones, electronics. For example, if you look at this right here, this is a microphone that plugs right into your iPhone under your clothing. And here's your microphone that you can speak into. So you can sit here and just say the cards, 3, 7, 9, Jack, 5, 4. And the person on the other end would be writing them down. With this device was sold for cheating at tests in schools. With this device, the person on the opposite end can actually talk back to the person talking into the microphone. And that's done with these little earpieces. I don't know if you can see that. They're really, matter of fact, the truth of the matter is, that's a magnet. The earpiece is really here. That's the earpiece. I can't even get it to stay so small. That's the earpiece right there. And then the cheats would take this earpiece and just drop it right into the eardrum, like this.
No.
Now that way, the other person on my phone could talk to me and I would hear everything. To get that earpiece out, they use a magnet. And now it's out. So the cheats would use the microphone to send out the order of the cards, and the other person on the other end will be writing down the order of the cards. Now the false shuffle would come into place. I'm going to do it face up. Watch the ace of clubs. Well, first I'll do it face down. And now I'll do it face up for you. where the cards look like they're being mixed, but they're really not. Well, the biggest thing on this is getting the dealer, and they had to recruit the dealers. And if you look at this, these are the indictments for all the dealers that were involved in this scam in the casinos all over the United States and all over Canada. And very smart how they recruited some dealers. In Washington, the mayor's son was a floor supervisor at one casino, and he was helping to recruit dealers. In a casino not far from here, near Louisville, Kentucky, how they recruited a dealer was they were playing on her game, and then they always look for single middle-aged females with no wedding bands, and hopefully during conversation would find out if the dealer had children or not. And if the dealer did have children, then that's the deal they would work on. And they would ask, well, how much money do you make? My God, how do you support a family on that? Let me help you make money. We'll meet outside. And then once the dealer met with them outside, she was paid $500 just for showing up. And they showed her what they wanted her to do. If the dealer wanted to stay in, well, then she was involved. If she didn't want to to keep her mouth shut, and they would move on. Well, by looking at the indictments, not too many dealers took the second 500, and they pretty much all jumped in, and that's how it was done. Now, with the false shuffle, there are other things that happens with the false shuffle as well. And one of the funniest incidences that happened to me was in Reno, Nevada. I was dealing in one casino, and the supervisor said, excuse me, she took me off the game on my break, and she told me that I don't know how to shuffle cards, and she's going to teach me. So I said, please, if you don't mind, that would be great. So she took me over to a closed blackjack table, and she demonstrated how I should shuffle the cards. And then she said, let me see you do it, Sal. So when I went over to the table, I did a false shuffle. This is about 1.5 feet from her. And I didn't tell her what I was doing, but she watched me do it. And then she looked at me and said, perfect. That's how I want to see you shuffle from now on. And she didn't have a clue what was going on. In another casino in Reno, a move that was done with the false shuffle was this move. Well, the dealer set a blackjack up for his partner. Let's suppose I have a partner sitting right in front of me, and I'm going to set a blackjack hand up right now. So right now, this person is going to get a blackjack, guaranteed. So when the player went to cut the cards, the player came out with a really, really big bet. The supervisor told the dealer to reshuffle the cards. Because of the big bet, reshuffle. They want to watch. So the dealer went into another shuffle, keeping those cards in order, and when he offered the cards for the player to cut, the player said, let the supervisor cut. So the dealer let the supervisor cut. And then when that dealer dealt out the blackjack, the supervisor blamed himself and said, why did I tell him to shuffle the cards?
Somebody was asking why women with children.
Oh, great question. Someone just asked me why single women with children, because hopefully they're going to be hard up for cash. I don't know if you know about the dealer's lives, but dealers rely on tips. It's not as glamorous as it seems. I didn't get too much into my background on this. Most of the people out there know who I am. For those who don't know, I train casinos all over the world. I have over 35 years in the casino industry. I was a dealer. I was a supervisor. I was a backup shift manager, and I worked in surveillance. I was an observer for quite some time. And then I was a player also. I banked games in California. So I have experience from the industry all over. So if you go to my website, universalgameprotection.com, you can see more about me as well, more about my background and some of the things I do. So why do they target middle-aged females? Again, because hopefully that they have children and they need the money. Remember, you could be the most honest person in the world with the right circumstances, such as credit card debt, child support, anything where a person gets jammed up, they're going to need the money. And to do a lot of these moves, it's a very simple thing to do. That's why a lot of casinos go to hand machine shuffles and try not to let the dealers shuffle it by hand at all. Another thing with the shuffle. Now, well, first of all, here you saw me doing it with single deck. Can you do it with a 6 deck? Absolutely. A 6 deck full shuffle. Okay. And the view you're looking at from above would be pretty much the exact same view a surveillance observer would have. I can't. Switch cameras?
Oh.
Now these cards look like they're being mixed. I'm keeping track of a certain slug, which I'll show you in a second. This is pretty much a very standard shuffle and what used in most casinos. Roll them, which means turn them on the side for the cut. Now the player is going to cut the cards. We'll cut right about here. And this was a 6 deck full shuffle. So all those cards were kept in order. All the shuffles were real except 2. And I made sure the 2 that were false looked identical, so the eye doesn't know what's real and what's not. There are techniques for surveillance to be trained to be able to detect this. Remember, certain moves are completely invisible, not undetectable. And if you had a sharp surveillance staff up there, believe me, if the dealer did try to do this, they would get caught. What's that question? I see someone else asking a question here. I can't read that.
Ah, okay. So somebody said, what got you into this business?
What started me? When I was 12 years old, my father showed me the 3-card Monte scam. And when I saw my father said, son, you're going to see this on the street. Don't play it. Well, after he taught me that, the next day, here I am in a schoolyard, follow a card of black, win your money back. And after the 3-card Monte, that really got me interested. When I was 13, we took a trip to Vegas because we were thinking about moving there. And then I fell in love with that city. And we never did move there. But later on, when I became a blackjack dealer, yes, me and my family did move there. So that's what really got me started. This whole sleight of hand all started when I was about 12 years old. I see another question coming in. What is that one? I see something with a shuffle master.
And what would you do if there was a shuffle master?
Oh, okay. Now, I'm going to be honest. What we're talking about here right now is just the Tran organization. I know for a fact there's got to be a couple of people out there who are dealers. So this really isn't a teaching session. But if you did want to know more about the shuffle master, you can look up for an article that just came out. It's on my website. Me and my wife just partnered up and wrote the article. Really, she did it. And when you look at the article, it addresses a lot with the shuffle master. But if you do want to see one scam that would target a shuffle master, I'll do it for you. I wasn't set up to do this. Okay, here. Real quick, we'll just do this one then. Overseas in Macau and other places, the cards come pre-shuffled. They don't use a shuffle machine. The cards come pre-shuffled. The dealer takes them out and they go into the box. Now, when you look at my website, look up the news article, we also have a video on YouTube really explaining what you're going to see me do. But in this case, the cards just came out of the shuffle machine. They just came out of the box. They get ready for the cut. So here, watch when I take them out. Now we're going to present them to be cut. So here, let's do this. You cut them. And now they go into the shoe. I'm going to wait until I see the 7 of clubs and the ace of hearts. There you go. I know the exact order of these cards. Here's your 8. Here's your 4, 8, 5, a 4, 8, 5. This will be a 3, 1, 8, 4. 3, ace, 8, 4. 8, and this will be a 4. So this, as I took the cards out of the box, I peeked them. As I turned them on their side, I just memorized the cards from the rear. And then when they offered the cut, I knew the order of the cards. And there are other ways too of attacking the 1 to 6 shuffle, but really, I don't want to get, I'll tell you what, any questions, if you email me on my website on other things you want to see, we'll get with Artists on Lockdown and we'll do future episodes and we'll cover anything you want to see. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed it tonight. I hope everybody got a little something out of it. I hope you had a lot of fun. Again, I want to thank everybody for having me. I want to thank Love Productions. I want to thank Artists on Lockdown. And I want to thank my wife, especially a big shout out to Ben, who was behind this whole thing and helped me put together and getting my cameras set up. So everybody played a big role in putting this together. I hope to see you guys again if you like it. Oh, I see something else coming in. What's that question?
Tell us about the person behind the camera. You.
Behind the person behind the camera. Okay.
Or is that me?
Really, the person behind the camera, behind this is my wife, if you want to hear about her. But I will save that one for another episode, how we met, because she really enjoyed that story. But myself, again, over 35 years in the business, in the casino industry, I was a dealer, I was a floor supervisor. Right now, I am the the world's best game protection expert out there. We offer the most modern, up-to-date training, and we cover all games, how to cheat in roulette, baccarat, pai gow. I see another question coming in. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again. Everybody, thank you so much for having me. I had a great time, and I look forward to coming back. Be safe and be healthy, please.